Let's take a look at Adobe InDesign for the first time. And what I want to do in this section is get you up and running as quickly as possible by showing you what I think are the most important things to know for anybody just starting out. And we're going to do that by creating a simple ebook. Actually, it's probably more like a white paper. It'll be about a 10 to 15 page document once it's all said and done. So let's go ahead and dive in by clicking on the New button here to open up our new document dialog box. And what we're going to do now is change the intent from print by clicking on this drop down button and change it to digital publishing. With that set, it's going to default to the page size as an iPad size, but if we click on this drop down, you can see we do have some other device presets available if you were wanting to make something different. I'm going to click on this portrait thumbnail right here to change my orientation of the document. And then on the margins down here, I'll click on the little link button so I can set custom sizes for each side. So for the top, let's put it at 150 pixels, and that'll give me enough room to drop in the logo on every page since this will be a branded white paper. On the bottom left and right, we'll put it at 75 pixels. So I'll put in 75 pix, hit Command A to highlight that, Command C to copy. Hit Tab a couple times, Command V, hit Tab one more time, and Command V again to paste those values. If you're on a PC, it's Control C and Control V. We'll click OK, and now we've got our brand new document set up. So before we go any further, let's go ahead and save this. So File, Save, and I've got a folder on my desktop where I've got all of the assets for this project. In my Design Files folder, in my InDesign folder, I'll go ahead and save this document as ebook, and I'll click Save. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in to the workspace and start off with the first things I want to show you. So let's make sure we're looking at the same screen. On the top right, click on that drop down, make sure you see the advanced workspace. If you don't, go ahead and click on that now and then hit Reset Advanced so we see the same thing. And the first thing I want to bring your attention to is the pages. So I'll click on this Pages flyout menu, and right now we only have one page in our document, and we also have one master. So what the master is, it's like a master template. Whatever we put on this one master will be applied to however many pages refer to that master. So let's go ahead and start by double clicking on that A master, and what I want to put in right now is just simple information at the footer and the page numbers. So I'll click and drag with my text tool by hitting the letter T and then clicking and dragging, and we'll just put in the simple copyright information. So copyright 2016 period, all rights reserved. And then what I'm going to do is zoom in a little bit with that Command spacebar shortcut. I'll click once on this text box, hold down Alt, click and drag a copy to the right here. And now with this text box selected, I'm going to hit the letter T to change my options bar at the top to my text options and align this to the right. So now this will line up to the right side. I'll triple click in here, and instead of having this text we just made, what I want to put in there is some special type right here. If we go to Type, Insert Special Character to Markers, we can set our current page number. Now what this is going to do is just put the letter A in on our master page. It's just a filler, but if we click on page 1, we can see that it actually changes to whatever page this is. And if I have a couple more pages, you can see that each page has the coordinating page number. So where master pages really come in handy are if you have repeating elements that need to be applied to multiple pages. So here's a way to make this more obvious. I'll just quickly draw a big rectangle here using my rectangle tool on the master page, and now these thumbnails along the right reflect that each page now has that same rectangle applied. So you can have multiple masters, maybe for each section of your book where you have different colors for the opening section, or maybe different section markers or whatever you wanted to do, and that's a great way to do the work once in one spot, and then if you ever need to change it, you can change it there, and that change will be applied to all the subsequent pages. So I'm going to come back to this A master document. I'll click on that rectangle and I'll just delete it for now. I'll go ahead and hit save, and this is probably a good spot to pause, and in the next lesson what we're going to do is actually bring in the assets for this document. So we'll start gathering the text and the photos and the logos we need to finish.